Expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
The governing Free National Movement is mourning the death of two heroes of the party. Dead today is MCM, William Bullitt. He's a meritorious council member of the Free National Movement who's been ill for a number of months. And of course, by now you would have heard that the former F&M minister, Mrs. Teresa Moxie Ingram, is also dead today. Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas, welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic Church community. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Monker.
You know William Bullitt very well.
Yes, I know Mr. Bullitt very well. And of course,
he is, of course, a member of a breakfast club that we are a part of.
McDonald's in Oaksville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
sad
he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad to
He's
hear.
been sick for a while.
Yeah. And William Bullitt was one of the few men at the breakfast club who I could always have a little biblical joke with. You know, we have our discussions on biblical issues, and William Bullitt was one of the few men who never took offense to any of the things I may have said from the scriptures. You know, we looked at those things in a logical way, and if there was something that he may not have agreed with, he would say, "Listen, Shorty, I can check it, and I'll maybe get back to you."
And then, of course, the former F&M Member of Parliament, Teresa Moxie Ingram, she's dead. She seems to have not been well for some time. You didn't know her that well.
I didn't know at all, but I did hear a lot of good things about her, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I may have worked with two of her sisters.
Okay. And then, of course, in the United States of America, well, there's been more gun shooting. But by the time it was over, two students were wounded, and the Caucasian gunman, apparently he was killed. So that's what's going on in the United States of America. It is as if the Americans are not learning. I mean, it's one piece of mayhem taking place in America. Well, folks, when we return, there is a number of issues that we want to address. We want to look at the Minister of Works, Desmond Bannister, who on two occasions had to, almost like a dog to his vomit, had to come back and tell the nation that notwithstanding the lies and the propaganda of the governing Free National Movement as it relates to the attempt to damage the reputation of opposition leader Philip Brave Davis, Desmond do have class. Comes back and all he does is say, "I'm sorry." And this is the second time he has vindicated the leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis. This is Freedom March. We look at these issues when we return.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on 105.3 FM, The Beat. It is the nation's youngest radio station. And of course, welcome to ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Praise the Lord. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is in studio with me. Bradley, welcome once again.
I thank you, Mr. Monker. Thank you so much.
Well, folks, in an official statement issued earlier today by the Free National Movement chairman, Carl Culmer, he says that Mrs. Moxie Ingram will be remembered as a faithful and dedicated woman whose reach knew no limits. She served in the cabinet of former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram. She was a member of Parliament and a meritorious council member of the Free National Movement. It is not known whether or not the leadership of the Free National Movement is aware of the passing of meritorious council member and freedom fighter William Bullitt. The party, up to the time that Freedom March came on air, had not issued any statement. But on behalf of the many men who are members of the Breakfast Club, well, my spiritual advisor, you being a member, perhaps you would want to extend sympathies to William Bullitt's widow and family.
Yes, my heartfelt and deepest condolences goes out to William Bullitt's family, his wife, and of course his children and siblings as well. William Bullitt was, of course, a great man, a man who I respected dearly as an elderly statesman, and of course a man who loved people. He will be missed, no doubt, by the Breakfast Club for his often, jokes and his warm greetings, of course.
This is powerful.
Absolutely.
Well, my spiritual advisor, I'm certain you must have a small scripture that you would want to read.
To read, yes. Let's read quickly. The scripture is taken from the book of St. John, chapter 14. I'm reading from the King James Version. And of course, I'll be reading from verses 1 to verses number 6. The words of Jesus Christ here found in John chapter 14. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And whither I go, you know, and you know the way. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. St. John chapter 14, verses 1 through 6, the words of Jesus Christ.
Amen. I thank you,
Amen.
my spiritual advisor. Let us go international for a few minutes. 2 students at a high school in Great Mills, Maryland, were shot and injured this morning, allegedly by a classmate who died after exchanging fire with a school resource officer, authorities said. His 2 alleged victims, a male student and a female student, were shot in a hallway just before classes began, authorities said. The sole school resource officer engaged the suspected shooter, who was a male student, and fired a round, authorities said, adding that the shooter fired a round too. He was injured and has since died at a hospital, police said. His 2 other students were hospitalized, police said. Authorities began evacuating people from the school later this morning and busing them to Reunification Center and nearby Leonardtown High School, St. Mary's County Public Schools said. Well, that is what is taking place in the United States. Lots of gun violence, but you know, the Americans have a right to bear arms. So I'll leave that just like that. Well, on Sunday was the 18th of March, 2018. It would have been the birthday of the founding father of the modern Bahamas, Lyndon Oscar Pinley. Pinley, as you are aware, was born on the 18th of March, 1930. He died August 26, 2000. Well, his birthday, the anniversary, was Sunday. Today is the 20th of March, 2018. It is the birthday of the late Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield, a former leader, or should I say a founding leader, of the Free National Movement. It is to be noted that the Negro journalist Oswald Brown wrote an article and tagged me on Facebook. So I look at a little piece of Oswald Brown's article. And I quote, this is Oswald Brown. He's a former editor of the Negro newspaper, the Nassau Guardian, and a former Negro editor of the Freeport News. Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield, one of the most prominent politicians in the annals of Bahamian history, would have been 88 years old today, March 20th, had he not lost his battle with cancer and died in hospital in Miami on May 9th, 1990, at the relatively young age of 60. As one of the founders of the Free National Movement, the current governing party in the Bahamas, Sir Cecil's, his birthday quite fittingly, is being celebrated in grand style with a series of events in Grand Bahama, the island that re-established him as political force to be reckoned with after his ultimate goal of becoming Prime Minister of the Bahamas seems to have faded him into an elusive dream. There is no disputing the fact that Sir Cecil, as the then chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, played a major role in orchestrating the PLP's historic victory in the January 10, 1967 general election that had brought the first majority rule government to power in the Bahamas. It was an outright victory for the PLP, which ended up in an 18-18 tie with the predominantly white United Bahamian Party, UBP. But they were able to form the government with the support of Randall Fox, elected as Labour candidate, and independent Alvin Brennan. So, today, Sir Cecil would have turned 88 years old. So, we've looked at that. Now let's see what are some of the topical issues taking place in the Bahamas. Well, the government has announced that the wife of the Prime Minister will take up office in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs they shall form what? A committee, a group, a desk, an office, the office of the spouse. It is an interesting phenomena that is taking place. And so, it appears that it is beginning to generate some controversy. The Negro minister responsible for foreign affairs, what is his name?
Mr. Darren Henfield?
Mr. Darren Henfield has addressed the Parliament, telling the Parliament that the Prime Minister's wife will report to his office, the office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where she's going to set up an office. There are some observers who think that foreign affairs would not have been a proper place for the Prime Minister's wife, as we are unable to see how or what her responsibilities would be as it relates to foreign affairs. There are some Negro observers who's argued that one of the best place for Mrs. Patricia Minnis to have moved her office would have been in the Ministry of Health and or the Ministry of Social Services, where a loving, motherly, tenderly hand can be put on the Negro social problems which exist in our country. But it would appear that when the matter came before the cabinet, leadership was lacking, as the Prime Minister, recognizing that some may argue nepotism and or favoritism, he declined to be a part of the discussion. Well, you know, he's doing what some Negroes regard as political correctness. I just love Minnis' leadership. It would appear to me that the women who have been faithful to him politically, he always rewards them. That's the kind of man that I like. He's a strong man, he's a serious man, and he's a man with plenty mandate to see. So this is very interesting that is taking place. I was going to deal with it. But, you know, from time to time, I do see things, and I do hear things, and I do know things. So I shall not, as leader of the woman them, comment on it, because I suspect that Mrs. Patricia Minnis is one of the woman them. So what I'll do, I'd look to see what Anglican Member of Parliament Mrs. Glenys Hannah Martin had to say. If I could put my hands on her notes, because all I got is plenty notes. I mean, it's notes, 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 because there are all sorts of issues that are on my mind. But since I do have it now, so let's look at what Glenys Hannah Martin has to say. Taking into consideration, Glenys Hannah is one of the women them. Mrs. Patricia Minnis is another one of the woman them, and I suspect that many of the man them do not want to get in what looks like the woman them row. So as leader of the woman them, I shall now examine what Glenys Hannah Martin had to say. Anglican MP Glenys Hannah Martin yesterday expressed concern about the government's intent to establish an office of the spouse of the Prime Minister. I support the advocacy for women who make greater strides, she said, when called for comments. But on the other hand, if it is just going to be a ceremonial thing, how does that help us? What is the objective? What is the benefit to us locally? We need to know more. Minister of Foreign Affairs Darren Henfield revealed yesterday that the office will be established in a matter of weeks. In a few short weeks, my ministry will establish the office of the spouse of the Prime Minister, which in this instant will focus on the health and well-being of women, girls, and adolescents, Henfield announced. It is our view that the weight of that office, which will engage in the forum of first ladies and spouses of the region, will help to bring more focus to issues such as promoting the health and well-being of adolescents in the Caribbean and reducing adolescent pregnancy, expounding on prevention of various forms of cancers that are prevalent among women, encouraging the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and congenital syphilis in the region, and more. But Hannah Martin said, Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, Lanisha Roll, already has carriage of gender affairs. We already have a minister who's in charge of Gender Affairs, which includes international conventions such as the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, and all that, she said. She has to go every year and report on the progress we are making. Hannah Martin queried whether the office of the spouse would conflict or oppress the Lord with roles, duties. Henfield noted that the spouse of the Prime Minister will not receive a paycheck. He said she will be supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as she engages with various regional and international bodies. But Hannah Martin asked what the office would cost taxpayers. We like to know what the budget is, especially when you consider that the government terminated so many people, she said. They said in their prudent advocacy for the public resources of the Bahamian people, they cut back. They boasted in this mid-year budget about cutting back, and now they are adding a new bureaucracy of some type or form. It appears to have budgetary implications. It just doesn't seem to gel in terms of what they are saying. While I appreciate, said Glenys Hannah Martin, in principle, the statement that is apparently seeking to be made about the importance of women's affairs, I would really like to see this government manifest that in terms of the representation of the women in cabinet. This is powerful. The fact that Glenys Hannah Martin, one of the women there, raises an issue, pointing out that the other woman, Lanisha Roll, is in charge of gender equality. This is powerful. This is an interesting maneuver. I think the spouse is being placed in the wrong office. I think Mrs. Minnes, if she's going to be the spouse of the Prime Minister, she should be in the Prime Minister's office. This is powerful. It is a developing story. And Lord, it is my prayer that with the addition of the wife of the Prime Minister in government, that those women who admires strong Prime Minister leadership will draw back, for the wife is coming forward. Lord, I thank married women who now is willing to play a role in government. And I call on the woman them to draw back. The wife is now the spouse in chief. I'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. By Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on 105.3 FM, The Beat. Do you know this is the nation's newest radio station? And of course, welcome back to ILTV Studios. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Well, folks, there are new developments taking place in the country constantly. The F&M, my party, always have me confused. I don't know when the F&M is speaking truth or talking lies. This is the second time that Works Minister Desmond Bannister was compelled, I believe because of Negro pride and Negro shame, to be honest and come to the defense of opposition leader Philip Brave Davis. You remember? A couple weeks ago, one big lie. They told on Philip Brave Davis and they knew it was a lie. Desmond had to correct it. Now, yesterday, after Ernest Young, that international accounting or auditing firm, run a propaganda campaign against Mr. Davis. Even dig up his Ma obituary. I've never seen nothing like this in all my life. I can't believe that Ernest Young is white people. It can't be white people because the white people are trained in the discipline. They understand the tradition. They understand the culture. They understand decency. So I believe that this Ernest Young in the Bahamas is an aberration. That's what I believe. So they talk about all that nonsense. And Desmond, I'm impressed by him every day. But I always knew that Desmond had character. I always knew it, Give you a quick story. There was a Haitian man who's now deceased, who worked for a Conky Joe man, who was a member of the 7 Days Adventist Church. And the Haitian man, no, is his name, developed some kind of stroke on the job and was taken to the hospital. And notwithstanding that Conky Joe man is a member of the 7 Days Adventist Church, never checked for the Haitian man. And finally, Daddy, after being out for months, returned to the job. And the Conky Joe man didn't want to pay him. And the Haitian them know that I'm Haitian. And if anybody I love is my people, the Haitian people. And they walk from Freedom Park in Fox Hill to where my office is in Bainstown and Grandstown. And they petitioned me and said to me, Daddy, Garçon Blanc, white man, owe me. I work hard and he wouldn't pay me. And I told him I'll take over the case, and I took the case over. And when I discovered that white man was a member of the 7 Days Adventist Church, I was sitting at a table negotiating with Desmond. Desmond represented the powerful Conky Joe man, and I represented the poor Haitian man. And I told Desmond, you tell that Conky Joe man that my wife is a member of the 7 Days Adventist Church. And if he continue to be dishonest, my wife last day in the 7 Days Church was last Saturday. Because certainly he ain't saved. And Desmond look at me and say, you want me to say that? I said, of course. You tell that white man I say that my wife will not be able to return to the 7 Days Adventist Church because he is saved. Do you know Desmond told it? When I look, Desmond came to the second meeting with all kind of money. The white man sell all kind of money. And Desmond told me, he said, listen, I talked to him and he's changed his heart. And he send money. I said, he send real money? I can't get your man. I know he going to heaven because he send plenty money. I said, now you tell him that when I go home, I will tell my wife to return to the 7 Days Adventist Church and not to eat cow salad. Because I told him, tell that can't get your man. So I know Desmond is a decent man.
Oh, Lord.
And I was honored when I'm reading the newspaper to see that Desmond had, particularly as it comes to Philip Brave Davis' reputation, he ain't got no hog heart. So let's look at what Desmond has to say, because it's important. I don't know why the F&M is constantly putting Desmond Bannister to clean up F&M mess. Why y'all want to lie on Philip Brave Davis? Y'all are disgraceful. Ernest Young is no good.
Ernst.
What?
It's Ernst and Young.
Who it is?
Ernst.
How you spell Ernst?
I think it's E-A-R-N-S-T.
Man, it's Ernest Young. I'm not with Ernst. Ernest Young is no good. So let me read from the Tribune. And I love the Tribune's headline. It has to be a white man who wrote this headline in the Tribune. Davis hands clean on water project. Lord, I thank you that notwithstanding the sense of the Tribune, the decent white people from England has gone there to cause a revival of goodness. Because the Etienne has died. And since he died, sometimes it looked like the standards of the Tribune is dropping. So we'll read it. The article is written by Rashad Roll, the Negro reporter from the Tribune. Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador MP Philip Brave Davis did not authorize controversial payments to Nassau Island Development, the contractor for the multi-million-dollar Gladstone Road waste treatment plant that is unfinished, despite a 91% cost overrun. Works Minister Desmond Bannister said in the House of Assembly yesterday. I have to read it again. When I saw this article at about 6 a.m. this morning, I became very emotional. I said, Lord, bless Desmond Bannister, save his soul, that he may make it to heaven. Because I start to have doubts. Can Desmond make it to heaven? I'm now convinced that Desmond, if he continues to be honest, he will make it straight into the kingdom. So I'm going to read the headline to you again. Remember where you can find this article. My spiritual advisor, it is in the Tribune.
Yeah, I see it here.
You see it?
Yeah.
Hold the Tribune up so that the people in Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador will see it. And I call on the PLP to send the Tribune to the various islands. Just buy hundreds of Tribune and send them down to Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador so that they would know that Philip Brave Davis, his integrity remains impeccable. And I thank God that Desmond, under a lot of pressure, arose, went forth, and clear the name of Philip Brave Davis. Auditor EY Mussy Main, Ernest Young, in its report on the Water and Sewerage Corporation tabled in Parliament almost 2 weeks ago, revealed 2 unusual payments were ordered for the company in 2014 and 2016, despite considerable objections from senior Water Sewerage Corporation officials. The GRWWTP project was one of 2 that persisted after senior officials sought the cancellation of their contracts. The other project involved Treasure Coast Development and Construction in Eleuthera, which worked to create water storage tanks at the Eleuthera Naval Base. Mr. Bannister said yesterday, no Bahamian should overlook the fact that so far we have spent $18.3 million on a project that was budgeted for $9.6 million, and the project still remains unfinished. We're all going to have to pay for that, and the Bahamian people need to know who was it who brazenly authorized the payment of millions of dollars, money people were not entitled to. The Cat Island MP says it wasn't him. I believe it wasn't him. It was not Cat Island, Mr. Speaker, says Desmond Bannister. There were very few people with the power to do that. And every Bahamian, no matter what their political loyalty would be, should be interested in helping us find the answer to that question. It remains unclear who authorized the controversial payment to NID. In 2016, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works Colin Higgs, wrote to former State Minister for Finance Michael Halkitas and former Financial Secretary Simon Wilson about his concerns over a $1 million payment ordered for NID. Last week, the Tribune asked Mr. Halkitas about the matter. He said, everything should be in the files at the Ministry of Finance. Afterwards, Acting Financial Secretary Malin Johnson told the Tribune the matter is being internally reviewed within the ministry. Yesterday, Mr. Bannister defended other people who have been mentioned in connection with NID, including Marlene Poitier, a secretary in the law firm of Mr. Davis, who is a holder of a single share in NID. Mrs. Poitier, association with Mr. Davis, was noted in Ernest Young's report. In addition, Mr. Bannister defended Ruth Bowdowell, a lawyer connected to his former law firm, who has represented NID over the years. He said, much has been made of the name Marlene Poitier appearing in that report. I know Marlene, and I know she would never supposedly be a party to anything that is wrong. However, those who would have caused her to be in a vulnerable position need to come forward and say so. If that company is sued, she faces liability that someone so decent should never face. Additionally, during debate, the member of Cat Island also touched on the fact that the company, NID, had its office at Commonwealth Law Advocates, and in the process, he mentioned the name Ruth Bowdowell. Commonwealth Law Advocate is a firm, listen to what Desmond Bannister says, that I started after I walked away from a law firm that caused me great distress. In 2007, when I entered public life, I left Commonwealth Law Advocates in the able hands of Mr. Ruth Bowdowell, an outstanding professional. That company first became a client of Commonwealth Law Advocates some 5 years after I left. I had nothing to do with it. However, I stand by the integrity of Mrs. Ruth Bowdowell. She would have had nothing to do whatsoever with the operations of that company, nor would she have received any benefits other than her normal legal fees. I know Ruth, and I could tell you that. Mr. Bannister dismissed Mr. Davis's claim that Auditor Ernest Young has participated in a witch hunt against the Progressive Liberal Party, but he distanced himself from the auditor's inclusion of the obituary of Mr. Davis's mother in a section of the report that said someone with the same name as Miss Poitier was identified as a close family friend of Mr. Davis's mother. I would never personally have incited information with respect to the obituary of the mother of the member for Cat Island in this, Mr. Bannister said. However, it was not for me to interfere with the work of an international accounting firm, and had I done otherwise, I would now be accused of tampering. So I left their work as it is. If there's something wrong with it, if there's something they made a mistake with, it is there for all of us to see. By the same token, there is much in that report that we all have to look at and seriously take into consideration. Desmond Bannister said. He said, the Water and Sewerage Corporation is a national asset. It must perform efficiently and in the best interest of the Bahamian people. Anyone who alleges that an international accounting firm with the reputation, skill, and experience of Ernest and Young is on a witch hunt is seriously underestimating the intelligence of the Bahamian people. The real witch hunt is shown in the report. How else can one explain the email from Audley Hannah to both the former Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, in which he said, and I quote, "In a previous email from me, I said we need to deal with these F&M cronies at water and sewage." The fact is, the audit was long overdue, and politicians will have to appreciate that the Bahamian people in the future will demand that we operate these entities efficiently and in the best interests of the country. We will always have to be accountable, and we will have to be transparent. Mr. Bannister chastised Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts for instructing the Water and Sewerage Corporation Board in 2012 not to disconnect services of Abaco residents because of the imminent by-election. No politician would take lightly to a politician directing the corporation to discontinue a disconnection exercise until after an election is completed, as was done at the Water and Sewerage Corporation. He said, "How can anyone be so arrogant to say auditors had no right to question politically led decision making?" That statement and statements like it are why members opposite are where they are today. All of us, every one of us in political life, need to distance ourselves from that statement. Politically motivated interference can never again be tolerated in the Bahamas. We as politicians must appreciate that our actions must be directed towards uplifting our people through national development, not petty political tricks. We were not elected for that, and this new generation of Bahamians will not tolerate it. Mr. Davis interrupted Mr. Bannister to suggest Mr. Roberts' order has been misinterpreted. He said, the member spoke about a politically directed order with respect to disconnections in the middle of a campaign of a by-election. The complaint I was hearing is they were being disconnected because of politics, and what the chairman was doing was ensuring there would be no blame for disconnecting water because of politics. Parliamentarians laughed and mocked his comments afterwards, however. My spiritual advisor, do you wish to comment on
No,
that?
not at all, Mr. Monka.
The F&M, in one election, ran a senior member of the Bahamas Christian Council. That member of the Christian Council was a candidate, I think in the Bainstown constituency. And he, aided by the Christian Council, were all through Bain and Grandstand turning on people water. And at that point, I don't think him nor the Christian Council had any lawful authority. They cut on water and they cut on light. F&M. So you see, this allegation of what people are doing, I know that that saint in the Christian Council who ran for the free national movement was all over Bainstown cutting on. And he had a wonderful Christian quote, which I shall not repeat, even though it is a wonderful quote. So these things do take place. And the F&M is guilty as equal as the PLP. All right? I just thought I would point that out because I am pursuing pastors in the Christian Council who are not really saved. And that fella did all kind of things in Baintown. And the good thing about it was he wore a priestly collar. So there were times when I saw him, I had doubts. I wasn't sure. Is he doing the Lord's work, or is this Satan dressed up in priestly colors. I wondered. Lord, I wondered, was the pastor doing God's work? Some days he had a Bible. Some days he wore his priestly collar. But when he got to Duane's Lane, between Augusta Street and Nassau Street, and the people them said to him, there was no light. And the people them said, there was no water. He proclaimed, let there be light. And lights mysteriously would turn on. And when the people say, there was no water, water even came on.
Struck the rock.
But we shall keep it a secret, because I saw who he was waiting for. Was he waiting for Papa? Was he waiting for Jesus? Or was he waiting for the devil? I don't know. But these things do happen. It's such an interesting society. My spiritual advisor, we wish to
boy, Daddy, you get into some things, Mr. Monka. You know, do you think you need to be saying these things on TV, though?
What did I say? You know, there are times when I'm talking, I'm not conscious, like I'm taken away. Like I'm in another realm.
Wow.
Like I've left the world. Like I'm in the clouds.
Yeah.
I see things. I'm saying things.
So you're in a trance.
Am I in a trance today?
Well, that's what happens when you fall into a trance. You see things that are shown to you.
I see things. I see that Desmond is now speaking truth. Desmond, this is wonderful, you know. Your mother always think that I don't like you. I always try to tell her, listen, I have nothing against Desmond. I just want him to be a good member of Parliament, or I'll have to curse him out. Simple as that. You sure you don't want to say anything?
No, that's...
You sure?
No, positive. I'm not getting into politics, man.
You don't want to get into politics?
No, I'm not.
What about pastors who are members of the Christian Council?
Yeah, they should be doing the right thing, Mr. Munko. They should be doing the right now. Whatever that is that was happening, if it was untoward or illegal, they should not have been engaged in it. All right?
It might not have been.
So
illegal.
how was he authorizing these turn-ons?
I think he was using.
Come on, Mr. Michael, stop that.
These
things happen for you?
I don't tell lies.
Wow.
You think I tell lies? Eh?
No.
The last thing Hubert Ingram told me on Sunday is I must maintain my credibility.
Wow.
You hear me?
He must have had authorization. I just can't see a preacher doing stuff like that.
Okay.
You know? He must have had authorization. So is that true? Did he get authorization?
I don't know. All I know
well, I can't comment on
is
that,
he
Mr. Munka.
proclaimed that he's saved. All I know
Who is he?
that he claimed
Who is he?
that he is saved. Should I name him?
Who's the man?
I shall call him Gabriel.
Gee.
Shall I call him Gabriel?
Don't do that, man.
What?
That's
Why?
almost blasphemous, man.
What is blasphemous?
You can't call him Gabriel.
Shall I call him Jeremiah?
If he's doing evil.
Can
All
I
right, call him
He-
Jeremiah then.
What about Hezekiah?
Yeah, call him Jeremiah.
What about Malachi? Huh?
The Old Testament prophets. Wow.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's not a good thing.
Huh?
You wouldn't want me to call him.
If once he was doing the right thing, Mr. Munka, I don't know if you could condemn him. If he
Anyway,
was doing something
that's
untoward,
many years
yeah.
ago.
Okay,
And you know,
his sins could be forgiven.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Go and
Sin no more.
before the government catch up with you. All right? Oh boy. It's just
Lord, I
amazing.
tell you. Absolutely.
To my people, the Haitian people, have you seen the newspaper? There is a major conspiracy by the Free National Movement to deprive you of your citizenship. We must meet, we must plan, and we must prepare. Brent Simonet has set out with his Negro brothers, the F&M, whom your family voted into office, to now deprive you of citizenship. Tout le monde haïtien, préparez aujourd'hui parce que F&M, pardon, ma best friend nous, pour livrer, camper per moyen. It is time that we march on the F&M. Citizenship, or we will march. Citizenship law, I'll be right back after the break on Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this.
Right issue. Tout le monde haïtien, aujourd'hui, m'a fâché. Les mots arrivent. Nan bagay sa pour gen journal matin pour li sa map li sa Brent Seminet pas bon. Il pas bon, il pas remen non. En kounya map mande tout peuple moi yo pour camper. Brent Seminet does not like us. And I call on all citizens of Haitian descent to stand up. It's time to march. We are either entitled to citizenship or we're not. Brent Sumner ought to know, as minister responsible for immigration, the frustration, the drawn-out process in an application for citizenship. The Haitian young people are at a major disadvantage because they live in a Negro society that does not like black people. You hear me? They do not like black people. And it is a disgrace what they're doing. And we must tell them justice or no peace. Peace, so there must be justice. It's a simple thing. We are supposed to assist those who were born in the Bahamas in preparing, in getting their documents, because there's all kinds of frustration. In the district of New Providence, I've heard before me a Negro man of Haitian descent. The frustration of getting to Haiti, getting this birth certificate, and then after getting the birth certificate, getting it translated into English, and then getting an apostille attached to the document to satisfy the law. It's a very frustrating exercise. But those of you who do not like black people, and particularly black Haitian, you all are coming up with all kinds of wicked barrier. But Lord, I thank you that I'm alive in 2018 to help to challenge this wickedness. Tout le monde haïtien, est-ce que vous préparez pour mars? Parce que FNM pas bon, Frankie Campbell pas bon, Paul Billy pas bon, tout peuple yo qui famille sorti Haïti longtemps, qui power, yo pas parler pour nous. Yo pas parler pour nous. Parce que yo pas bon. Frankie Campbell, Paul Willie, and all those other Haitians, Bahamians. You hold on my spiritual advice.
Listen,
You want to respond? You will respond to me when I'm finished.
Okay.
You stop defending Paul Willie because last night I was at Arawa Key when in the company.
You see all the progress?
There's no progress.
Yeah, man.
There's none.
I have it on my phone.
All right? There's none. You need to go there.
Maybe I need
so
to
you
let the
stop
producer
it.
send these pictures.
Paul
of
Billy, give power. Paul Billy, travail pour Prime Minister.
For the country.
Okay?
He doesn't work for the Prime
Pour
Minister.
qui ça? Il pas dit Prime Minister. Ma besoin nous. Pour correct problème haïtien. Pour qui ça Campbell, Frankie? Ou connaît année passée ya? Les Frankie dit, Maman Lee, caché dans le cimetière. Vous connaissez ça? Vous connaissez ça? Il gagne
Old
un
stories, man.
pile problème, là il dit ça, parce que tout peuple anglais want lui. Vous comprenez? Il want. Ma besoin nous, pour les journal, pour garder, pour documenter, peuple qui parle mal, parce que yo parle nous pour gagner citizenship. Ma prele ancestor Afrique pour venir Mavrele Spirit. Mavrele. Baron Samdi. Mavrele. Tout Spirit. Pour bataille. Pour perdre moi. I think I'm going to go into a trance. Can I have some drum to calm me down? May I hear some drums? Where's these Negroes who are waking for Sabbats? Hey, you don't want us to do show it. What happened to you? You don't like us? Do you not love my people? The Haitian people. Give me some drum. Let me call for my ancestors to come and fight for me. What the heck is going on in the studio? I think I'm going to disappear then.
Yeah, same as if only you went on that run, Mr. Monka.
Yeah,
and
they're
you need to
sabotaging
start translating
Listen,
English so
you
your
try.
hearers.
I want you to translate for me.
Mr. Monka.
Let's try.
Listen, no.
Paul Billy Parbon.
You can't see, Mr. Monka. You know
Translate.
what? I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry.
Wait, can't you say Paul Billy's not good? Told all that lie, but the lights are up.
Wow.
Huh? Last night, I happened to be in the company of some distinguished Negro people when your name came up. And they said, look to see if you see the light the spiritual advisor spoke about. All right?
So there are no lights up.
But
There are no
Brent
lights up.
Simonet is wrong. And I call on young people born in the Bahamas
Right here.
of Haitian descent to get ready to march. It's a new civil right agenda. Because we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, and we demand our right. People born to foreign parents in the Bahamas, but who fail to apply for citizenship by age 19, as allowed by law, will only be granted permanent residency with a right to work. Immigration Minister Brent Simonet announced yesterday. So let's make sure we have a distinction. Person born in the Bahamas, live here all their lives, apply between 18 and 19 will be considered under the constitutional entitlement for citizenship as to whether or not they are entitled citizenship. He said, while foreshadowing proposed changes to immigration law to come this year, those who do not apply in time will be considered, and if applicable, will be granted permanent residency with the right to work. There are obviously other aspects and rules that apply in terms of length of stay and record, and so on and so forth. Currently, the Constitution says that people born in the Bahamas to married non-Bahamian parents may apply for Bahamian citizenship between their 18th and 19th birthday. The addition of a specific designation, such as permanent residency, if this is not done, would be a new addition to the law. Mr. Simonet said issues relating to children born outside of the country, to Bahamian women married to foreign men, and children born to single Bahamian men will also need to be addressed, insisting impending amendment to the Immigration Act have nothing to do with any ongoing case in the court. Why is he referring to the court? Does he not know that by his reference to the court, he's telling us he means the court? He wants to stop John Charles from a victory. It is wicked that these powerful men are doing this to the poor, black Haitian. Y'all don't like Haitian, hey? But before many of y'all die, y'all will cut bush for Haitians. All right?
Why would you want to say that?
I curse them.
Yeah,
I curse y'all. Y'all are wicked.
You're jumping the gun on this one, though.
I know these Negroes.
Yeah, but you're jumping the gun on this one.
You tell me what is the F&M policy.
I'm not talking about policy, but
tell me what is the F&M agenda.
Yeah, from what I understand, Mr.
You
Monka,
are anti-Haitian.
No.
And you look like a Haitian.
No, Mr. Monka.
Huh?
Listen to me very carefully. From what I understand, this is nothing new to the F&M. This practice was even under the Ingram administration for 15 years. What Brent Simonet is saying is nothing new. I may agree with you, it may not be in law, but this is not a new practice. The F&M government has been doing this
expel Ronnie Charles?
The F&M government has been doing this
Ronnie Charles out of the country?
Since the Ingram administration. This is not new.
So why did Brent throw Ronnie Charles out of the country?
That was corrected, though.
Why was he thrown out of the country?
Yeah. It was a mistake.
Racism.
It was a mistake, but it was corrected.
The F&M does not like black people.
I don't know if that's a fair statement.
You wouldn't tell. You can't tell. You know why you can't tell? Because you are blacker than I am.
Wow.
That's why you can't tell.
I don't know if that's a fair statement. I think that's an overboard statement, Mr. Monk, and I think you should retract that.
My brother, you take it from me.
The Free
Just
National
look at the policy.
Is the government of the Bahamas and represents all the Bahamian people.
At the
to
policy.
say that the Free National Movement doesn't like black people is not fair.
Every time he makes a political address, he refers to a case in the Supreme Court. When Brent, as a trained attorney, knows that there's a rule called sub judice. That's what he's doing. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that?
But this policy is not new. This is a practice, it's not new.
Why is he doing that? And those people who are of goodwill, we have to stand up against these things. We have to march. And we have to use every concept, every belief to fight them. Every belief, every concept to fight them. C'est pas possible pour moi pour dire en pile bagay en anglais. C'est pas possible. Vous connaissez? No really? Really?
Oh boy, I tell you.
Yeah. I just told the Haitian people that there are some things I can't say in English. There's some things I can't because they're bad things that sometimes I say. And it's not good to say bad things in English, but we must stand up against it. You're not going to get rid of the Haitian people. We are here and we will beat you if we make more baby than you. We will beat you if we make more baby than you. And if you want to create ethnic division, well, go right ahead. Stop being stupid. These people were born in the Bahamas, they live here. Let us help them. Once we know that they were born in our country, let's help them to get all of their papers straight and give them their status, as opposed to coming up with frustrating means. To deny it. Y'all don't like black people.
What is frustrating, Mr. Monica? Article 7 of the Constitution, as it relates to citizenship, does help the person born in the Bahamas to foreign parents. It does help them. The article says that they're entitled to, upon applying, to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas.
Right.
Yeah. Article 7 says that.
And where in the Constitution that says
what's
that
so unfair?
I didn't say that provision was unfair. What is unfair is Brent attempt to come up with legislation to deny those persons who the Constitution is silent on.
Yeah, so they have to fix Article 7.
That is wicked.
So they'll have to fix
you
Article 7.
Can't fix Article 7 because they can't win a referendum.
Well, they could amend it, yes.
How the heck you can amend it when it is an entrenched provision?
So then change it.
You ain't pick up on what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
An entrenched provision.
So
hold on. An entrenched provision means you have to go to referendum.
Okay. So we go to referendum.
Referendum is a dirty, nasty word. I'm voting no on every referendum matter.
Well, we'll have to fix this because
fixing it means what? Denying poor black Haitian born in the Bahamas?
Let me tell you what the problem
That's
is.
That's what it means?
Let me tell you.
Spiritual advisor, I'm disappointed in you.
No.
Because
the problem is that there are thousands of people born in the Bahamas to foreign parents who don't apply between the ages of 18 and 19.
What is the reason behind that?
Both you and I know, and
you don't say what I know.
Well,
tell me what is your understanding?
Well, listen, my understanding is this. If you are born to foreign parents in the Bahamas, and let's just say for argument's sake that they're Haitian, you automatically take on the citizenship of the mother if the parents are not married. What should happen is that mother should go to the Haitian embassy to get that person's passport. I believe that if they do decide to apply at the age of 18, there are some of them who don't want to give up their Haitian citizenship.
Please, let's don't split here with that.
Yeah.
Article
That's
7
what
of
I
the-
believe
yeah,
the
but
deal is.
Listen, if you profess Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, there has to be a lawful and humanitarian approach to this issue based on the fact that the Haitian is at the lowest socio-economic stratum of the society. They're the most vulnerable. They're the ones who have been exploited, who have been robbed, have been ripped.
Why do you say that?
I'm telling you what has happened, right?
What is your evidence of that?
How you mean what is that? I'm a justice of the peace.
How are the Haitians robbed? When they come here, they work and they're paid.
Goodness of mercy, we're talking about citizenship.
Okay.
We're
In that
talking
regard.
about the application.
Okay.
My
Okay,
spiritual
in that
advisor,
regard.
they're being taken advantage of.
I don't know why you're saying that.
I just
though.
give you a reason.
Okay.
I just told you
Let
that.
me ask you.
It is a common thing. We know that there was a policeman who employed the Haitian while dressed as a civilian. We know it. And on Friday, he put on his police uniform. And when he show up, the Haitian break off, run in the bush, and don't get paid. We know that that has happened in this country. We know it. I know it. All right? And my position is simply this, that we should take a lawful and a humanitarian approach to assisting those people at the lowest level of the society who help us to build the country. You hear me?
The question.
Now they have come up. I say,
All right.
I think I'm going to go off. I think I shall go off.
Let me ask you, what is the problem?
Tiswazo, kote ou pale, moi pale kai, fiat lalo, kon manje,
Don't drag Mr.
Timon, se vale, la manje, auto, priko, kalo prik, tiswazo, gade, pou tiswazo.
You're going to lose your people, you know.
What people?
You're going to lose your people.
My people.
You're going to lose your people on this one.
My
Mr. Manka.
spiritual
Mr.
advisor.
Manka, what is so...
The people has to be told what is fair and just. You hear me?
Mr. Manka,
and what is fair and
there
just is
is
not
fairness.
this one skate that Brent Sumner and those are coming up with.
Okay. Now tell me, what's the problem you have with this policy here? What's the problem you have with this? What's the problem?
It is evil as those who advocate it.
All right. There is nothing in the law that
In
says...
the election, Dr. Minutes organized a Haitian battalion led by Frankie and your Jack. What's his name? The bald-head man who's in charge of pretending the lights on in Arawaki and ain't get them on yet. What's his name? What's his name?
Why don't you leave Paul Villiers alone now?
Him. They went into Fox Hill.
Oh, boy.
And they camped in the back of Fox Hill. And when it was all over, they turned all them people against Fred Mitchell. And Minutes was supposed to give them justice. And there's no justice. And I asked my people that we must get our tambo drums. And we can have to shut them down.
I can't see the Bahamas government being unfair. You know,
I
you
know.
have people
You're
who...
anti-Haitian.
No, it isn't that, Mr. Man. You have people who come to this country...
You don't like our
who
people.
break our
The
immigration
children
laws.
did not break the law.
Yes, we understand that. And so there's provision in the Citizen Act that would entitle them to
Yes.
be registered.
But Brent is
You see
now
what I'm saying?
saying that he wants to pass legislation that if between 18 and 19...
You don't apply, you would be entitled
The
to a permanent
Constitution is...
residency
Listen,
with the right to
The
work.
Constitution is the...
That's still being fair.
I want you to hear this now. The Constitution is silent on a matter
Yes.
that they are trying to make noise about. It is because of their racist, Haitian.
But the government is not leaving them in limbo. The
Listen to
government
me.
is still
It is
offering them.
citizenship or citizenship.
The government is still offering them permanent residency.
Listen to me.
With the right to work.
But they are depriving them from what the Constitution ultimately intended for
Yeah.
them to have, which is citizenship.
Either that or they
And
may
it is
have
happening
deprived
to them.
themselves by not applying based on the rule of law.
I just told you
That is
that
silent,
there
yes.
are a variety of reasons.
I gave you one. You give me one.
Your ma birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
Yeah, you have to send back to Haiti for that.
That's one. All right? I am telling you, this is a racist position.
Wow.
Don't mind.
I don't know if this has anything to do with racism, you know. This has
It
something
has to
citizenship.
do with racism. The majority of the
We're a
people.
black country, though.
The black
So
people.
where's the racism?
Who do you think is the worst racism among black people? Huh? It's
know,
the same Negroes.
I'm silent on this one.
Yes, you be silent on
Yeah.
it. I tell you that.
I'm silent on this one.
Right? Y'all don't like black people.
It isn't that, Mr.
Y'all don't like
Monka.
black people.
The Bahamas is a sovereign country and we have to protect
Sovereignty
it.
is
We
not
have to protect it.
challenged by allowing people who were born in the country to have citizenship and to continue to participate.
Well, eventually it may be challenged.
Man, stop talking nonsense. We have in
Eventually
the
it
cabinet.
may be.
Let me show you how Brent is a hypocrite.
Eventually it
Want to see
may
how
be
Brent Simmons is a
challenged.
hypocrite? Frankie Campbell sits in the cabinet of the Bahamas on an affidavit, not supported by any document signed by an official of the Princess Margaret Hospital that he was born in the country. And Brent Simmons, as he pursued citizenship, they have not dealt with Frankie's position. Hubert Ingram told me that Frankie's affidavit is fraudulent.
Okay.
But there are thousands of young people who can
But
prove.
he's never come public to say it.
I told you it's fraudulent because I produced the document here. So I don't need him to come publicly to say it. But there are thousands of black children born in the Bahamas, the West Indian parents, the majority of whom are Haitian. And y'all Negroes within a black self, within a black stupid self, have decided you're not going to give them citizenship.
You're going to lose your audience.
My brother, I'm going
On
to
this
be
one.
honest with my audience, my people.
Why
The Haitian
are
will
they
be with
fighting
us
Bahamians for
until
citizenship?
Jesus Christ come. They're entitled to it.
Why are they fighting
Penland put it in the
for
Constitution.
citizenship?
Arthur Hanna put it in the Constitution. They put it in the Constitution. Why you want to deny them it?
No one is denying them
Huh?
it. Apply.
Yes. They
Apply
applied.
upon the age
There
of
are
18
many reasons as to
and,
why.
and age 19.
Lord,
Just
I
apply.
bring before you thousands of black people born in the Bahamas of non-Bahamian parents who are entitled to citizenship. Strike down this evil proposal, dear Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back. They got me upset today. Oh boy, I don't know what I got to do.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on 105.3 FM The Beat. We are also on TV. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is in studio with me. As I drop this controversial issue on the government proposed intention to change this whole thing about citizenship, I just want to leave one question with the public. So you're going to give young people permanent residency. People who are entitled to citizenship. And you think that's how you're going to build national loyalty? You think that's how you're going to make them loyal to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? By having such a humongous amount of people who are entitled to citizenship, but for whatever reason did not apply in a 12-month period, when we know that the Haitian community, the most underprivileged community in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There's all kinds of reasons as to why thousands of them cannot submit an application within 12 months of them turning 18. And you think you're going to develop loyalty? Go right ahead then. Go right ahead and create ethnic division in your country. The ideal situation is always to assimilate people to the extent that we even remember that our parents or grandparents came from another West Indian island. Because there's no indigenous Bahamian, save that of the wife of the Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly. We have to be very careful with these racist, anti-black position. I'm 61. Am I? Yes, I am.
So what do you want, Mr. Mark?
Right.
You just want a free-for-all
What is a free-for-all?
in the Bahamas,
What is a
right?
free-for-all?
As it relates, you just want what? Let me
I
ask,
want-
what are you looking for?
I want
What do you want?
those people who...
You have over
You asked me a
10.8
question and you're not answering me. You're not-
Haitians in Haiti.
Jesus Almighty.
What do you want,
I
Mr. Mark?
want-
You just want them to come here and just take the Bahamas over.
Why are you being
What-
so irresponsible?
What do you want?
Why are you being so irresponsible?
What do you want, Mr. Mark?
Huh?
Seriously, what do you want?
I want those people who were born in the Bahamas to be given their citizenship.
Okay.
Let me repeat it one more time.
Well, you tell them
I want to give it to you one more
that
time.
Article 7 says that they are to
Bradley.
apply between the age of 18
Bradley.
and 19.
Bradley,
Well, you tell them that.
yes, but I'm saying to you that we have clear reasons as to why many are unable to do so. And the Constitution is silent. So let us facilitate them and give them their status.
Okay.
Once we can document that they were born in the country.
And speaking about speaking about being irresponsible, you have said on your show that the Haitian women should just go right ahead and get pregnant.
Well, I'm
and
opposed to birth control.
And outdo the Bahamian woman.
I've told you.
Yeah,
I've told
now
you.
that is the
in my
height of
family,
irresponsibility.
I've told you that in my family, them on my mom's side of the family, those who take birth control have had all sorts of medical problems. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Well, you better go to the next caller.
Sir,
Hey.
how you doing, sir?
Oh, I rate you, darling. What's on your mind?
Mr. Riser, how you doing?
I'm okay. I can barely hear this.
Turn up the speaker
speakers
in here
in the
so the
studio.
spiritual advisor can
So
hear.
I can hear, I can
Mama,
hear.
Mama, what's on your mind?
Mama is here listening to you.
Yes.
Now you know I am one of your women them.
Listen, you're a
And
wonderful
I will
woman.
never let you down.
You never let me
You're
down.
supposed to fight for us.
I am for you.
Okay? So I saying this now. I with you with the children them if they're born here.
If they're born
The
here.
mothers them need to go back home.
Okay?
The mothers them need to go back home. They come here and they dump those children and then they want to stay here to shield themselves under the children. So we got to go along with the government. Let the government have its act and give them the citizenship as they desire. Just put in for it. If they put in for it, I believe they'll get it. But send all the mothers them back. They ain't supposed to be here.
I'm not going to defend them. I with the children. You with the children?
Yeah, I mean the children.
Well, you are one of the women, them.
Yeah.
This
Let
is
the children
powerful.
them apply for their citizenship.
Yes.
But let the mothers them and the daddy them go back home.
Okay.
Make the baby and Heidi and born it there.
Okay. But those who are born here, citizenship, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You're one of the women, them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else on the phone? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you? What's on your mind?
Gentlemen, how you all doing today?
We are fine.
Okay,
I can't
Mr.
hear.
Wanko.
Yes?
I want you to please send a special shout out to a lady who is one of the women there.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Her and her husband listen to your show every day. That's Mr. Keith Mason, formerly of the police force, and his wife.
Keith Mason?
Mabel Mason.
Uh-huh.
He celebrated a birthday yesterday.
Wow.
Their daughter said every day they listen to your show. So please, that's some of the people there.
Listen.
Wish her a happy birthday.
Mrs. Mabel Mason, I'm honored to hear that you and the retired senior deputy commissioner, Keith Mason, listen to Freedom March. So let me wish you a belated happy birthday, and you have a good husband. I remember one day a policeman mysteriously stopped going to work for a couple of months. And then he showed up to my house and said, I have problems. I've not been to work for months. They can fire me. What you could do for me? I said, listen, I know Keith Mason. Let me go and see him. I went to see Mr. Mason, and I told him everything that the police said to me. And Mr. Mason said, tell that young man, come first thing tomorrow to see me. And I told the young man, today, he's a senior officer in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And that was because Keith Mason not only demonstrated leadership, but it was that instinctive, paternal, that fatherly quality. He's a great man.
He's a good man.
Good man.
They saved people.
Amen.
Okay, bless you and spiritual advisor. God save the Queen.
God save the Queen, my sister. God save the Queen. Keith Mason, wonderful man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the former policeman?
The former Deputy
Okay.
Commissioner of Police.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, great man.
I can't hear this callers through the speaker.
Listen, cut up the mic in the studio. The spiritual advisor is unable to hear. You remember? He's supposed to listen through the
Speaker system.
the speakers. You men heard me?
You have any more calls, or you want me to read some
Are
text?
there phone calls? More? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello,
Hi.
Mr. Manco.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my
Good
love.
afternoon to Mr. Spiritual Advisor.
He can't hear you because they wouldn't cut up the mic. But you talk.
Okay, Mr. Manco, I have a question.
Certainly.
Do you think it's because of the constant repatriation of your Haitian people, why the government want to take the permit up to $2,000?
I'm not sure. All I know that it's horrible because it will affect the Haitian class, right? It's horrible, and the Haitians have made a wonderful contribution, because I'll tell you this, had it not been for the Haitian, there are many work in our society would not be done because our citizens are not interested in it. Right? It's $2,000 is horrible. But the FNM has always been anti-black. Anyway,
It's amazing, eh?
you take good care.
It's amazing.
Bradley, I know the FNM better than you now.
I'm sure you do, Mr. Munko.
You hear me?
I'm sure you're 61.
You hear me?
And you've
And
been
I'll tell you another thing about
You've
me.
been in this politics for a
I
long
come
time.
from the UBP. You hear me?
Wow.
I want you to look at me. I'm not an ordinary Negro.
You came from the United
Brent
Bahamian Party.
Seminadati
It's a UBP.
was the leader of our party.
Props to minute.
And I went to UBP convention. And my uncle, Forrest DeBow, was a UBP candidate. So when you hear me talk, I ain't talking idly. Ain't too many people 61 years old who went to convention.
Yeah, see, my only problem with you is don't blame Brent Simmet for this.
I don't blame him. I
Hubert
blame
Alexander Ingram
What?
had the same practice under his administration.
Explain Hubert Ingram practice. Let me see
All right?
if you
It's
know
the
it.
exact same thing that Brent Simmet
Tell me
said.
how it was done.
That's exactly how it's done.
No, that is not how
you
it's
don't,
done.
If you don't apply
Listen to me.
between the age of 18 and
No,
19,
no, that's not how it was done.
You were granted
That was
either-
not how it was done.
How was it done?
I discussed it with Ingram. Watch out for me. You know when I discussed it with him? On Sunday, the 18th of February.
Okay, so what did he say?
Ingram said that his policy was that if there is doubt about the fact that the person was born in the Bahamas, then permanent residency. But when the evidence was clear,
Citizenship.
you remember on the 19th of February, I said that Ingram had said something to me, but I wasn't going to say it because Ingram said he don't know what Brent is doing because he told Brent how to deal with the matter. Most things, if I have the opportunity, I would ask Mr. Ingram.
Grab your callers.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Yes.
Mr. Monka. Can I speak with your spiritual advisor?
Speak. He won't be able to hear you because they have him on a special system and they have it on. So you talk to me.
Yeah, well, if I'm a person, I think he knows about the Bible. He seems like he's a Bible scholar.
He is a Bible scholar. What biblical question do you have?
Yeah, I want him to answer me a question of what does the Bible say about people who tell lies?
He wants to know if you can find any reference where the Bible talk about people who tell lies.
What
They would go to hell.
The spiritual advisor told me to tell you
All liars will be
that
cast in the
all
lake of fire.
liars will be cast in the lake of fire.
Which is the second death, Revelation chapter 21.
Okay, well, that's a serious thing. The Bible also says, I think it says, don't cast your pearls before swine, don't it?
Jesus said in the book of Matthew chapter 6.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're treading on dangerous ground, being a good man, Bible scholar. If you're not supposed to cast your pearl before swine, even if it's about curly-haired, blunt Negro Simney.
You ain't saved. You hear me?
What did he say?
You're not saved.
You see, this man is a dangerous man you're dealing with there. Very dangerous.
You're not saved.
You gotta watch.
I'm not going to allow you
Forget all the politics.
to attack me.
Watch what the
All
Bible
right?
says, and let's deal with the Bible.
You're not saved.
Politics.
Do you believe in the Bible? No?
PLP or whatever piece they are, they're dangerous. And you got to be careful, very careful. Mike.
Anyway, we can let you go. Go and sin no more. All right?
You got to be careful, Mr.
Take good care.
Tell you.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? You better find text, my spiritual advisor.
Hey, Mr. Manka.
Sir!
How you doing?
Listen, I'm here struggling
Yes.
with the spiritual advisor today.
Yeah, no spiritual advisor, all right. Listen, Mr. Manka.
Sir?
A lot of people is listening to you, right?
Yes.
Nowadays, blowed up my phone because it's a WhatsApp king. They say you speak too much Creole, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and then next thing they saying, I don't have a problem with people spiritual advisor who born here, who never been to Haiti in their life or Jamaica, was born here. I don't mind getting them straight. All right. Now the problem, what I have, right?
Yes?
Yeah. Listen, Mr. Manta, we don't want them to vote.
We don't want them to what?
No, we don't want them to vote.
Okay.
We don't want them to vote because it's enough for us to change the government or put the government in.
If a person, Vanessa,
yes.
If a man has citizenship,
there
are civil rights that come with citizenship.
The new party can change that.
Right?
You hear what I say?
So you want to deprive people of the right to vote?
Yeah, we don't want no Haitian, Jamaican, American, German, Russian.
Goodness
nobody to vote except you're born here in the Bahamas.
Yes, I agree with you.
If you're a Bahamian, you vote. If you get citizenship by paper, you do not vote.
Okay.
That's what I say, and that's what a lot of people say.
Bonus, I can't take it today, eh?
You can't take it, eh?
No.
You licky do mama.
Goodness of mercy, Bonisa. That's what you're doing to me? All them things I do for you, Bonisa?
Don't you listen now.
Bonisa, you mean? I prayed with you. I counsel you. And you say, licky do mama? Oh, Bonisa, you're not saved. Whenever I see the blind one, I'm going to complain about you. Text my spiritual advisor. Do I have phone calls?
Yeah, man, you got plenty of phone calls, man.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Oh.
So?
Yes, spiritual advisor is right, and you pa boom.
You speak Creole very good.
Pa boom, Mr. Monka, pa boom. You pa boom.
Now, licky dom mama.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else on the phone? Hello? Hello? Welcome
Hello.
Sir?
Hello?
Sir?
Yes, Mr. Monco. If someone lives in the Bahamas for 20 years and know they don't have papers, and after 20 years you can't find anything where they apply for any papers, they should be sent home, whether it's Haiti, Africa, or wherever they originate from. That's my view.
Okay. I thank you for your view. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. How are you?
I am fine.
I'm your spiritual advisor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Yes, Mr. Monka.
Yes.
I'm a first-time caller, and
Welcome.
I am also one of the women there.
Oh, praise the Lord.
But it's something I have to say pertaining to the citizenship of the Haitians in the Bahamas.
Okay.
I don't understand. When you look at it, to every one Bahamian, we have approximately 10 Haitians.
You think so?
Now in this country. And And these young Haitian children that the illegal Haitians are having, they are having plenty babies.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So to stop all of this at this point, you got to let the government do their job.
And that is
find means and also measures to stop this influx of.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. If Brent could get off the coast of Inagua and turn the boats back, I have no problem with that. My argument is simply this, is that Pinling put in the Constitution a provision to allow these people to be given citizenship. And that's all I'm saying.
Yes,
and,
I understand.
And there are reasons why many are late applicants. And I'm saying, go ahead.
Can you imagine, sir? Now, like I said, we are overflocked by immigrants. And the ones who are here now, who is illegally, who really shouldn't be here, then I don't think it's no more unfair for the law to really stand. Because,
yes, we're not saying, listen to where me and you might be disagreeing. Right. Illegal immigrants, you catch them, you return them. People born in the Bahamas, they are entitled to citizenship, and we should not frustrate them in getting it. Because they have been so enculturated that we can't even tell who they are.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you, we need to build a nation. We have kept them in school and provided them with free education and free health care. They have a right. Let us not create unnecessary stress in our society. That's all I'm saying. But those who are on the boat coming, you remember I said 2 boat load?
Yes, sir.
Is on the way.
Yes, sir.
Brent should go off Inagua and turn them back.
Yes.
But them who were born in the Bahamas, they must be given their citizenship. That's all I'm saying.
We have a lot. One more thing. We have a lot of Haitians here who have Bahamian passports, like I said earlier. Yeah. They walk into the records of the hospital department and receive where they was born here, and take that, and then get these passports and can't even speak.
No. That is not true.
That's facts. I
want you to listen to me. I went to school with a man named Clarence Russell. You hear me? And Clarence Russell clean up mess at the passport. It ain't so.
All right. I will hope not. Anyhow.
Take it from me.
Have a blessed afternoon.
Do well, my love. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Anybody else there? I can't hear nobody. Hello?
Good afternoon to you and the spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, my dear.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you all?
I'm fine.
That's good. I'm one of the women there, Mr. Monco.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Yes, but you and I differ a bit on this right to citizenship. Let me explain to you why we differ. I don't believe just because you're born into a country, you automatically should be given citizenship.
But that's what the Constitution says.
The Constitution says that, but in order for them to get that, the Constitution also puts responsibility on them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, I heard your argument earlier where you say that, it takes a while for the birth certificate and all of that to come. They have to send to Haiti to get these things. But when you have that level of responsibility, and I would think this is something that they want badly, because in most instances they're saying they've never even been to Haiti, right? So why are you going to wait until you turn 18 to try to gather your documents together?
What age would you suggest that they try to get it?
If you are turning 16, you can start. But this is where I'm at. I'm saying, okay, the problem is already here. And I agree, like when you say we don't need to cause unnecessary stress.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so if we're going to give them automatic citizenship, it needs to be up to a certain year. Those who would have been in the country up to this year. And then those who are here after a particular period, you can only get permanent residency. Because like one of your previous callers mentioned, they are here, in such huge numbers, okay?
Listen,
and I don't...
Listen, everybody in the Bahamas is Haitian.
That's not the point, Mr. Monco.
Okay.
The point is, okay, let's be fair now. I'm a married Bahamian woman, right? Both of my parents were Bahamian. My husband is a Bahamian. We have a son, but our son isn't Bahamian because I'm Bahamian. He is Bahamian because my husband is Bahamian. True?
Okay.
So why should a
I'm
Haitian
only
judge...
going to cut you because I'm running out of time. You call me back tomorrow.
Okay.
Because she's one of the women then. I need to do a shout out to
Okay.
Miss Ursula Nan from San Salvador. I met you today and you declare that you are one of the women then. And I was honored when you introduced me to the chief counselor from San Salvador, Renard Storr. Renard, I thank you for also joining us here on Freedom March from San Salvador. So Ursula Nen of San Salvador, you are a charming young lady and you made me feel proud today. God bless you. Continue to be one of the women them. My spiritual advisor, wrap up your last...
I'll say this much,
because
Mr.
time
Monica.
is running out.
I'll say this much. What the Bahamas government has to do is we have to fix Article 7. Article 7 says any person born in the Bahamas after 1973, both of whose parents are foreign nationals, shall be entitled to, upon application, attain the ages of 18 and 19 to be registered as.
And what does the Constitution say if they do not?
I see, it doesn't say that. But
therefore,
just give me a second.
And
Mr.
therefore,
give me a second, Mr. Monica.
And therefore,
if you follow it through,
it is Nazism and Gestapoism designed to prevent these children
Mr. Monica,
from getting their
give me a minute.
citizenship.
Give me a second. Now, what happens if you don't apply at the age of 18 and 19? To me, I read that to mean that you're not entitled to it. You're entitled to if you apply.
What did you read?
If you don't apply, then you're not entitled to it.
You're spouting. You're spouting the propaganda of an evil Gestapo.
It says that you're entitled to upon application. Now, what happens if you don't apply?
The Constitution is silent on that.
Right, so we need to fix it.
Can't.
So we need to fix it.
You need a referendum.
I assume that if you don't apply, you're not entitled to it. That's my opinion.
Okay, my spiritual
If you don't
advisor.
apply, then you're not entitled to it.
Thank you.
You have to apply in order to be entitled to it.
Okay, my spiritual advisor.
All right.
Moi yo haïtien. M'a gen pile problem avec the spiritual advisor.
No, just
Le ou gade fig spiritual advisor haïtien. When you look at the spiritual advisor, he looks like a Haitian.
But I'm born and bred, man. I'm from rural Will Exuma.
Looks like a Haitian.
I'm an Exumian. My roots. I'm a proud Bahamian.
Lap gen pile problem.
Tout Haitien. Vini. La Bahamas. Ale Haiti.
Spiritual advisor.
Ale Haiti.
Pardon. Qui pardon? Il paraît mes pep.
You shall be entitled to upon application. If you don't apply, you're not entitled to it. That's my opinion.
Okay, my spiritual advisor. No problem. No problem. We are here. We will not go anywhere. And if it means
we?
My people, the Haitian people, we are here. We're not going anywhere. You better start loving us.
Interesting discussion, I could say.
Because we are not going anywhere. We are doctors. We are lawyers. We are even undertakers. We are bakers. We are the ordinary maid and waitress. We are part of the Bahamas. We love the Bahamas. And we're not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. So, Tiswazo, kote ou pale, mon pale kai, fiat lalo, koumanje, timon, siwale, la malje utu, brico, color brick. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney.
All of a sudden we've gone
Monica.
Creole. We've gone Creole.
Of course, I have Haitians I need to speak to.
But this is an English-speaking country.
Of
this
course.
is the Bahamas.
But this, I have two sets of audience. Come on with your racist
I'm
Negro
not racist.
self.
I love all people.
Take it care.
Good night,
God
everybody.
save the Queen.
Have
God
a good
save the
evening.
Queen.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
C'est bon.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.